Your divine messengers are meant for you. The people in your personal reality, your true love, your family and friends, not people that were just there for a season. Her mirror soul literally started to show up everywhere that she was. Today, I want to talk about using your 3D and not allowing your 3D to use you. When you're manifesting anything, whether it be a relationship, a healthy, loving, secure, stable relationship with your true love, talking about deep soul connections, what I like to refer to as mirror soul, your specific person, a healthy lifestyle, having the money that you deserve. Maybe there's a particular business that you want to create, or if you want to become an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, or you want to sell your artwork worldwide, literally anything. Be consistent, use the things that come up through your divine messengers in your reality. You want to use those experiences to powerfully define your identity of who you truly are. I've come on this channel for how many years now? Coaching full time and having the channel to share life experiences where I applied and saw massive movement in my life and unfolding and manifestations in all areas: career, money, finances, health, homes, cars, different experiences with my divine messengers in my life, and all different kinds of relationships. One of the keys is to use the experiences that happen to you. So, for example, and this is where sometimes somebody might comment under a video of a success story, for example. I'm going to give an example of something that happened years ago and how I applied this just as a teaching example, as a lesson. But somebody would say, why wouldn't you see this particular person differently? So if I experience something with somebody who is just somebody that I met, or just, somebody who comments under a video, or somebody at the store, people that they're not like somebody in my life that there's going to be an ongoing relationship of sorts. I am not going to take the time to see each and every person differently, but I'm going to use those experiences. Years ago, decades ago, and I shared this before, when I had the interior design business, I had a pattern. The pattern was crystal clear. When people met me, we had amazing rapport. People trusted me immediately with thousands and thousands of dollars in custom orders. I had I had hundreds of, at any given moment, hundreds of happy clients, and we were waiting for all of their custom items to come in. Okay. And one person had come in, one person. So after years of this amazing pattern and experience that I'm manifesting, didn't start out that way, but I got to a point where this was normal for me. Thousands and thousands of dollars coming in easily, hundreds and hundreds of clients happy, amazing and incredible reviews of the work that I did for people, and people really like having these amazing elevated experiences in their lives because of the work that we did together. So that was very purposeful and meaningful. It wasn't just about taking people's money and selling them something. It was much deeper than that. There was this one experience that I had where a woman came in, and this was a normal thing, but she ordered, let's just say, for example, I don't remember, let's just say it was like $6,000 to $8,000 order of 2 custom beds. Because from what I remember, a custom bed, each one was probably a few $1,000s. So someone I never met before. Again, I have a wonderful pattern now and really good experiences. Everything is very solid and stable. Long story short, after we deliver everything, so we did the installation, this person, all of a sudden out of nowhere, I just received a chargeback where somebody reported that I didn't basically give them what they ordered. And this was completely false. And I had all the proof and documentation of it. Without going into all the details of it, I didn't accept this in my reality. And I powerfully decided that this works out in my favor and I get all of the money back and all of this stuff. I absolutely did not try to take even a moment to see this person differently. I could care less. This was not a pattern of mine. So what I did instead was I used this powerfully to decide that not only does this work out in my favor, but because of this, I end up with even another 20, 30, 40, $50,000 in sales with the right clients who are amazing to work with and wonderful people and trustworthy and kind, and that we have an amazing experience together. And their lives literally change because of the designs that I give to them in their home, because their home now becomes this sanctuary. And that is the truth. That is usually okay. So this negative thing happens, and I decide, dig my heels in powerfully. No weapon formed against me will ever prosper. This works out in my favor. And because of this, I get even more of the right clients. And then what ends up happening is I end up calling in at the call center. And, I get on the phone with somebody who's across the country. And when they ask me where I'm calling from and I tell them, they tell me how much somebody in their family absolutely loves my store and how much of a good job that I did on their home. And they reverse it right away. And of course, that's in a nutshell. There are a couple of videos where I explain, some more things in detail, because basically, even with tears in my eyes, I called my clients, my employees in, and I said, we're celebrating, tears in my eyes, get champagne, get cake or whatever. We're celebrating. They're like, what? And I told them what happened. And they were like, why are we celebrating this? And this was before everything worked itself out. Another thing I wanted to mention, a client of mine who was manifesting her mirror soul, this was years ago. She was telling me how she had a story about men because of things growing up with her father and also a couple exes. Her mirror soul, when she went deeper, her mirror soul literally started to show up everywhere that she was. She's at a restaurant. Suddenly he shows up. She's at a beach. Suddenly he shows up. She's literally there on the sand, and suddenly he stands in front of her, ask her and if he can sit down with her. So this is like a pattern she's having. No matter where she goes, he shows up. I believe, and I said to her, I think he's literally following you, and not in a stalking way that's bad. He was a really good man. So, but she was kind of keeping him away. Why? Because of program that she had with her dad. And she owned a business, and all of the men who would come into her business were always very disrespectful with her. They would always hit on her, and they would say kind of disrespectful things. They were misogynist. They were rude. So we worked on this a little bit. I gave her some, revise some things from with your dad, revise some things with your exes, and currently start to affirm that all men in your reality are respectful. And like, imagine that when you walk in a room, not only do men open doors for you, but men clear their throat and straighten themselves out when you walk in because of the power that they feel within you. Like you are a queen. And I swear to you, after whatever, maybe 6 weeks had went by, in our next session, she told me, you wouldn't believe it. When I walk into my business now, the men are completely different. They are literally being very courteous with me, chivalrous, and they are straightening their bodies out exactly how. So, and what happened? Did she like send magical thought beams into all these men's minds? No. She chose, and then she experienced an entirely different reality, technically. So use your 3D and the experiences that you have to powerfully decide who you are, and then stick to it. I intend that this video was of value. Affirm down below. I trust in myself and my abilities to create the life of my dreams, me and my true love, and everything else in my reality is everything I've always wanted it to be. Anyway, insert whatever you want. I love you so much. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.